Say hi to Tana.
Hi, Tana. Hey!
Tell her good luck.
Good luck.
Okay, number 3 at the very bottom.
Number 3.
In the diagram to the right, line L is parallel to line M. Those are the horizontals. I'm going to mark them parallel with the feathers. And line P is parallel to line Q. I'm going to use 2 sets of feathers to distinguish between them, just like you do when you mark sides congruent or angles congruent. They want us to find the measure of these 8 labeled angles when they give us the 42-degree angle in the top right corner. So they give us one angle and 2 pairs of parallel lines, and they want us to find the other angles. I will start you off going in numerical order. Angle 1, how can you relate angle 1 to 42 degrees? They're corresponding, and because the lines are parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. So angle 1 is, all right. Go ahead and find the other 7 angles that are labeled. Angle 2, what'd you come up with for an angle measure? How'd you get 138, Dalton? Good, 180 minus 42. These 2 angles form a straight line. We'd call them a linear pair if you want. Devin, how about angle 3? You should have an idea, even if you were gone the last 2 days. What's angle 3 going to be? Maybe. You got to tell me why. What do you call those angles? Nope, starts with a V. There you go, vertical angles. Good, vertical angles are congruent. Boothie, how about angle 4? Tell me why. Corresponding with the other for 138. Good. Quinn, how about angle 5? Why? Good, because it's vertical to angle 4. Macy, angle 6. How'd you get it? Corresponding to angle 1? This one?
Yeah.
The original 42? Sure. Yeah, good. These 2 angles correspond, so they're going to be congruent. Angle 7, Jared A. It's this one right here. Jared. I didn't say boy, I said Jared. What's angle 7? Yeah.
138.
Why is it 138?
Because it's the alternate interior of 4.
Good, an alternate interior to angle 4. And angle 8, Hunter? Excellent, vertical to angle 7. Should only have 2 angle measures there, or it corresponds with the angle 4. Good. Okay, 2 angle measures. If you get 3, what? Yeah, 2 angles that form a line add up to 180. There's 4 lines, actually. Yeah, but it's just the ones that are adjacent that make the 180s. Like here, too. The ones that are next to each other add up to 180. You wouldn't do this plus this, because there's our 4 angles. This is 1 angle, 1, and then 2, and then you've got 3, 4. These 2 add up to 180, and then these 2 add up to 180, because I start on the line and then I stop on the line. I don't keep going with my curve.
So
Adjacent, and if they form a line, they have to make a straight line. Just because they're adjacent doesn't always mean they're equal to 180, though. Okay. All right, number 4 on the other side. In the diagram, L is parallel to M. Mark it with the little feathers there. And we have to find the values of A, B, and C. I have 1 set of parallel lines, L and M, highlighted them in yellow. And I have 2 transversals here. I'm just going to look at one at a time. So I'm going to look at this pink transversal to start. I'm looking for the angles that are formed between the parallel line and the transversal that I've highlighted. So if I look at angle A goes from the parallel line to this unhighlighted line. I'm going to ignore it then. I don't want anything to do with it because it's not using the transversal. Angle B goes unhighlight to transversal. Well, it's not using both the parallel and the transversal, so I'm ignoring B for right now. Angle C goes parallel line to transversal, that's highlighted, so I'm going to focus on angle C. Angle 40 goes from the transversal to the parallel line, so I can focus on that one. 65, it goes from parallel to unhighlighted line, so I'm ignoring it. So I don't need to worry about A, B, and 65 right now. Just focusing on C and 40. Are they on the same side of the transversal or alternate? Alternate. Inside of the two lines or on the outside? Inside. So we call them alternate interior angles, which means they have to be what? Congruent. So then C is equal to 40 degrees. Good. I'm going to put alternate interior in there just so that we know why. No, you don't have to. I'm just doing it to refer to. Yep. That's what you've been missing out on. I'm going to ignore that transversal, and now we're going to use the other one. So angle A goes from yellow to pink, parallel line to transversal. Which other angle uses that parallel line and transversal? 65 degrees. Good. Can I classify A and 65 as one of our 5 from the poster?
Yep.
What are they? And since the lines are parallel, then alternate interior angles are congruent. So then what A has to equal? Okay. Now B actually isn't using either of the parallel lines. It just goes from transversal to transversal. So it's not going to work to use one of the poster rules. Yes, sir? Why? How'd you get that? Like why 180? Good. A, B, and C, all 3 of them together make that straight line. I start on the yellow line, and then when I connect them all, I come back to the yellow line. So I know that A plus B plus C have to, yep, equal 180. So 65 and 40 is what? 105. So 180 minus 105? 75. That's B. Thanks. Good. Because those 3 on the top make a straight line. Yes, Isaiah, your way would work too. Okay, we're going to skip number 5. And we're going to go to number 6. Find the values of x and y, then find the measures of the 4 angles in the trapezoid. So this is a quad. It's called a trapezoid because trapezoids have one set of parallel sides. The top is parallel to the bottom. I have 2 transversals in this picture, the left side of the trapezoid and the right side. Just pick one at a time to look at. Okay, we'll look on the right side. So yellow to pink, yellow to pink. I'm ignoring the ones on the left because they don't even use that transversal I just highlighted. Kate, how would you classify these 2 angles? Good, same side interior. And what did we learn yesterday about same side interior angles? Same sides are supplementary. They have to add up to 180. So y plus y minus 50 equals 180. Y and y make how many y's? How do I bring my 50 over? Add it. 180 plus 50? 230. Divide both sides by 2. And y equals 115. Okay, going to ignore that transversal. And now we're going to look at the left side transversal to find my x value. Yellow to green, yellow to green. How would I classify those 2 angles? Same side interior, which means they're supposed to be
Oh, supplementary.
Supplementary. So 2x plus 90 equals 180. It just so happens here when you subtract 90 over, they happen to be congruent because they're 90 degrees. Okay. Divide by 2 and x equals 45. Same side interior means they have to be supplementary. Not quite done yet, because then it says find the measures of the 4 angles in the trapezoid. How do I do that? Substitute it back in. I know this one's 90. It's marked. 45 times 2? 90. Why substitute that in? That's 115. That one was easy. 115 minus 50. 65. Excellent, Isaiah. Thank you for hitting my next point for me. You guys have been in school for a while. You should know that all 4 angles inside any quadrilateral will add up to 360. So you could check by adding those 4 black angle measures and they should add up to 360 if you did your math correctly. You'll have one similar to this on your assignment today, where they give you like polygons that have parallel lines in them. The kids this morning were copying the pictures down in their notebook, and then they found it easier. They could just write right on the picture, but it's up to you how you choose to do it. Number 7, we have a proof here. Given A is parallel to B. On the homework today? No. We want to prove that angle 1 is supplementary to angle 4. All right, here we go. You may have done this differently because there's more than one way to prove it. Guys, back up here. So I'm just going to go through one way and then we can talk about the other one. Since I'm trying to prove something about angle 1, I'm going to go there first. And most of you, as I walked around, said that 1 is congruent to 3. Why did you tell me 1 and 3 were congruent? Because they're corresponding. Good. So if lines parallel, corresponding angles are congruent. I want to try and see if I can connect angle 3 to angle 4 then. Because then 1 and 4 both have angle 3 in common. So I'm trying to use angle 3 as a bridge. Can I connect 3 to 4? Do I know anything about them? They're next to each other and they've what? They make that straight line, okay? Make sure we understand that just because they're adjacent doesn't mean they add up to 180. It's because they make a straight line that they add up to 180. So for step 3, you'd say the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 equals 180. And this would be our angle addition postulate. And we're trying to prove that 1 and 4 are supplementary. Since 1 is congruent to 3, I can take angle 1 and substitute it down. So then it becomes the measure of 1 plus the measure of 4 equals 180. Okay. If I have 2 angles that add up to 180 degrees, what do we call those 2 angles? We call them supplementary. So angle 1 and angle 4 are supplementary. This would be by the definition of supplementary angles. Remember, you want your last step to match what you're trying to prove. Okay, that's one way to prove it. It's not the only way. You could say that 1 plus 2 equals 180 by the angle addition postulate. Then 2 is congruent to 4 because they're corresponding, and substitute in that direction. So the more angles I give you, label them. Usually there's more than one way to prove it then. So if you're working with someone and you didn't prove it the same, don't erase and copy the other person's. Come up and ask me. If you prove it one way and my worksheet proves it a different way, don't erase yours and copy my worksheet. Come up and ask me. There's going to be multiple ways to prove things. Everybody thinks differently. You don't all think like I do, so I don't want you to copy my one way down. No, you don't. Sid. At the bottom, number 8. In the diagram, line A is parallel to line B. We're supposed to find the value of x. Given the measure of angle 1 is x plus 12, so they give me information about 1. And the measure of angle 5 is 3x minus 36. So I'm looking at angle 1 and angle 5. Riley, can I classify those two angles as one of our 5 from the poster?
Yeah.
What would you classify them as? Good. And since the lines are parallel, Riley, then corresponding angles have to be what? Riley? Congruent, right. So Zach, if these angles are congruent, what should I do with these expressions? Set them equal to each other. X plus 12 equals 3x minus 36. Here come your algebra skills from last year. Subtract x over, add 36 to the left, and you get 48 equals 2x. Divide everything by 2, and what's x equal? 24. Questions? All right.